It's Fans of Patrol time. What's up, everybody? My name is Montego Bradley, the host of Fans of Patrol. With me is my adorable co-host, Miss Tiff Abad. How are you this week, Tiff?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
Man, I'm gonna tell you the truth. I'm actually pretty good, but as you know, we just did a mad dash to like change shit down here with the quickness, right? It's
Yeah.
like we had to like it was hot, man. Things are happening over here. I came down here and I was sweating bullets, and I was, I'm trying to be cheap this year and not do the air conditioning and stuff, and then we've been informed that we're in a heat wave in this state, so.
Wave.
Yeah. It's supposed to be all week long. So I've been saving my air conditioning because
I've been saving it up. I've been saving my air conditioning up for this week because it's going to be shit.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you, man. They literally snuck a bunch of like our bill was pretty predictable, and then they snuck a bunch of data centers up around my area without us even ever knowing it. And our bill, like our wintertime bill, was like $400, man. Like when it should have been like we talking about electricity, which should have been like $60. And so it's been war, So then like some regulation kind of popped up in Ohio, and I know this is not a political show, so I'm not gonna get deep into this. So the bill kind of went back down a little bit, but we'll see. So, but I'm scared, right? I've been like, no air conditioning. Hell with that.
I know. First of all, I don't have $1,000 to pay for my 1 unit of air conditioning.
Right. All of a sudden, I went from $100 to $1,000. What the hell?
I'll pay somebody $5 to come to my house and stand with an ice cube and blow.
That wouldn't be good enough.
It's good enough. As we discussed off the air, if you're from an area where there's humidity, it's fucked up.
Yeah.
You don't understand if you're not from an area that's humid. It's just awful.
Yeah. Tiff, she schooled me what the hell corn sweat was last year because I thought that was just an actor's name,
Nope, it's here to ruin your entire life.
Yeah, I never knew it was a thing, and of course, I live with the around the Great Lakes, so there's always humidity here, and it's been a decent summer. We haven't,
Yeah, knock on wood, it's not been too bad. It's like there's been some days, but like mostly like yesterday we had our windows open.
Yeah, so. And now it's like, hey, we gotta
zip it up. Zip it up, idiots.
It must be stopped. Anyway, man, welcome to Fans of Patrol. This week, man, we went to the movies. Been doing a lot of that. Hasn't been bothering me either. And
I've been having a nice time at the movies, even when I'm having a bad time at the movies.
Yeah. Look. So this week, man, we're doing Steven Spielberg Disclosure Day. Haven't said Steven Spielberg on this show in a long time, man. I can't remember the last time we actually did a movie by him. I mean, we did Jurassic Park not too long, like last year with what was the lady's name? Scarlett Johansson, but I don't even know if he's even affiliated with that stuff anymore. You know what I'm saying? I know he's one of the creators, but I don't know. It's been a long time since the Steven Spielberg stuff, So went to movies and got that taken care of. And so we're going to talk about that this week. We're also going to relax a little bit, y'all, and talk about some stuff because, we've had a Patreon and we've had Patreon people like supporting us with no content on there, but we're going to like start doing things on there. It's because we're getting a little, look, these are the people who like barely were getting the show out.
Thank you. That's so nice of you.
Do it getting more stuff on our Patreon. So, because it's shit we want to do, man. Like this winter was kind of rough with content, but like now we're like overflowing with content, and we can always find something to do. And it's shit I want to do.
There's like good stuff to talk about that might not have the space on this. What you call your main channel, but there's things to talk about, which is exciting because you're right. It's been a while since there was enough content to go. Well, now I can do 2 because like there's been a minute where you're like, oh, never mind. I'm barely squeaking out 1.
Yeah. Plus, that gives us a opportunity to talk about a lot of streaming stuff that we've actually watched, and then stuff happened and didn't get a chance to talk about it. It's like, well, good thing we like movies, or it'd be a goddamn problem, right?
It would be a torture if you were like, I hate movies. I don't like going to the cinema.
Yeah. Excuse me for the water, y'all. I'm telling y'all, it's smoking.
No judgment, because it's hot as fuck. Here's the thing, even with the air on in my house, you can see my hair is curling up because there's so much moisture in the air.
Yeah. The fluff is among us.
It's happening. What are you supposed to do? You just exist.
So, what is it? Supergirl Is that the name of the movie? It came out this week.
Mm-hmm.
Supergirl.
I
It's
don't know if it
called
has a
Supergirl.
subtitle, but it's definitely called Supergirl.
Super Mario Kart. Mario
Super
pulled up. What the
Mario Brothers. Make
Get
sure.
out of here! Like, get the hell out of here!
Leave us alone, Chris
Uh,
Pratt.
Is he still doing Mario?
Yeah.
That's interesting. Okay. So I'm just pulling up a Supergirl because I know it came up. I think it might be a little interesting to check out some of this stuff, the week before, just the things that we're gonna do and see where it's at because we visit the box office. I think it might be kind of cool to revisit the box office once we are actually doing the property. But
Yeah.
I think Supergirl is kind of interesting. So right now, uh $18 million and $29 million worldwide. And today is Sunday. It came out on Friday, I
Yeah, I
believe.
heard it was not good. Like not a good
Well,
showing as far as like returns.
yeah, okay, that. And then like because everything's political now these days, and maybe it's just because I get a lot of political content. Like you just have people just saying stupid shit like Jesse Waters, and you just like, what? What? Please, guys, stay in your lane. Go kill yourself. Oh, let me not say that.
Yeah.
Let me say
Nobody do
so.
that.
So right now the tomato meter is not fresh, Tiff, for Supergirl.
Ooh, rotten, they say.
I wonder what it's
Put
gonna
those
be.
strawberries back, they say.
I wonder if it's gonna be nice next week. So I kind of like this. If we
Yeah.
know what we can do, let's like see where it's gonna be next week. It's at 56% right now, right?
Okay, well, honestly,
But
though, that's not that bad.
the fan score, so that's 275 reviewers, right? And the fan score over 2,500, right? 77%. So fans are liking it. So
Yeah.
so I'm interested to see how that's gonna be.
Yeah, the fans are saying enjoy your summer, maybe.
Because they had all that shit, at the theater when I went yesterday. I was like, whoa, what's all this, and it was Supergirl stuff everywhere. But I don't know if people were in the theater watching it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm in my own theater doing my own thing. And so I was like, huh, I forgot that movie was coming out this week. So anyway, man, we're here to talk about Disclosure. So now I got to
Disclosure
put all
Day.
Disclosure Day. Which Tiff didn't want to do. Y'all remember she threw a tantrum last week on the
I was
on the show.
polite, but I did not want to go.
You were very polite, but it was definitely a Tiff tantrum. I was like, yeah, Tiff don't want to see this damn movie, but I wanted to see it. I like Steven Spielberg shit sometimes. He got so many movies, so it's fine that it's like some shit that you totally hate, and then stuff that totally boring, and then stuff that's really really good. I think the last movie he did was that Indiana Jones Crystal Skull stuff, and it was like
Ooh.
Steven, I think it's time to hang up the cleats. I'm not saying that's the last thing he did, but the last thing I remember him,
Sure.
getting a lot of
because I was kind of wondering about that myself. Like, what was the last movie I saw that was him? Like, okay, so Ready Player One was him.
He did that. Oh, he's
yeah. So, but that was like 2018.
Or was he the director, or was he just a producer?
More research required. Directed.
Oh, no wonder why it was so good. I love that movie.
But there was like West Side Story and The Fablemans, which I did not see.
I remember West Side Story was like, oh, why are you doing that? So. Why are you doing West Side Story? I think it was a flopperoni too.
I think so too. I think you're right. I think it didn't do good. So
right now there's a Cape Fear on Apple TV starting Javier, whatever his last name is. And big stars, right? So it has every time I turn on like Apple, it pops up, and I'm like, damn, they really want to make me watch this. Amy Adams, Javier Bardem, and Patrick Wilson. Patrick Wilson is in it, and he's the executive producer of that. So Steven is getting busy in his old age again, right?
Well,
Disclosure Day, The Dinosaurs, whatever the hell that is, Tiny Toons,
whatever the hell that is.
And then Jurassic Chaos Theory. What the hell is it? These are like shows. Oh, he's like producing TV shows.
Yeah, he's probably making some of that side money by being like, here's a property that I'm involved with. You go do whatever you want. I'll put my name on it.
But the last big one was Jurassic World Rebirth, which I think we had like, we were kind of like, this movie did not have to exist. Thank you for, because it's been on streaming, and I'll watch something that's fantastical like that again.
Yeah, you'll go do it again.
I haven't, I haven't. So yeah, so he actually directed this one, Tiff. So that's which totally makes sense. Again, we'll get into it when
he loves an alien.
Yeah, he loves the alien, and he. Let's wait. Let's wait.
Okay, I'm holding it in. I'm holding it. Hold it in.
Yeah. So, man, I feel pretty good today, Tiff. For some reason, I feel like I haven't seen you in a while. I don't understand. Just saw your ass last. I know what is that, right? Anyway, uh, I'm gonna do a shout out to Smooth real quick because all the time Smooth has been on the show, I've been calling him, right? And I said, Smooth, the next time you come on the show, you gonna call me. I ain't heard from him, but he comments on all our
Well, of
social media
course.
shit. I'm like,
Smooth, call.
get your fuck ass on the show, Smooth. What the hell is going on, man?
Didn't you want to see Disclosure Day? I'm sure you did.
The
Like,
hell
no,
with
thanks.
you
No, thank
already.
you.
Look, Tiff is getting her flowers today. She gonna like this movie.
No, thank you.
Y'all know she ain't want to see this damn movie.
Hmm.
let me see. I messed up my things here. So let's get into some of the stuff we've been getting into, on you know what I've been doing. So I was doing all that stuff, right? Like showing all the stuff for Supergirl, and I didn't even share my stuff like a cheap suit. So let's see, where am I at here? That's a Supergirl. Well, we could take a look at it. We already looked at it, right?
Is it showing us like what it made?
Well, yeah. This is what we was talking about.
Yeah,
But
woof.
Disclosure Day.
There it
So
is.
yeah.
What did
So
you make?
Disclosure Day, man. So domestic, 88 million big ones. It's been out 2 weeks though. International 87, total combined 176 million. Now I got a feeling this is gonna be a flop because everything costs so much to make these days.
Right.
But what you got numbers for?
$115 million to make, it says.
15?
115.
Oh,
so
it's on
a little
its way.
Bit worldwide. We're over.
Yeah, it needs to. I think
but it needs more than that.
It needs another $115 million.
Yeah.
To be successful. So I don't know if it's going to get there, but at least it's not an embarrassing,
Right.
thing.
Sure. It didn't super flop.
Movies are fickle nowadays to me. I was about to call you my wife, Tiff. I mean, they're really fickle nowadays. Things are not like what they used to be. Like how things just makes money no matter what. You attach a name to it, and I don't know why it's so weird because some things you do attach a name to it, and poof, it makes a bunch of money. Nothing makes sense to me anymore.
I think I think also, we went for a period where we were like, not like we as in you and I, but like it's like populace. I think that there was a more forgiving period for cinema where we were like, okay, we haven't seen a lot of new stuff. I'm going to give a pass more on this one. And now I feel like we're getting better movies again. So people are like, well, I'm not going to see that shit then. Cause if you're not going to give me all you can, I can see something else that is giving me all I can. You know what I mean?
But I think we didn't have movies that I believe were, worthy of the Chacon, and it's been like nobody went to see it. It's like it's been so off of me now. I cannot predict this shit no more. We used to sit on this show.
You can say like this one's good, that one's bad. Yeah,
we know everything, man. We know if it's all trailer. You know what I'm saying? Speaking of trailer, I'm not gonna show it, but we went over that. We went over Tom Holland looking like a grown man coming out that one day.
Yeah.
And then I think we went over a trailer. So there's another trailer out, and I was like, oh, they're probably just gonna show different angles of know. So let me watch it. So I was watching it, and my wife was in the room, and I got about 30 seconds in, and I was like, click. I was like, turn that shit off. I was like, they're showing the whole movie. They were showing this second trailer. I was like, my mind was blown that they was literally showing that much. And I'm pissed
just leave us alone.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it.
Do you want us to come or not? That's the real question.
Like, no, I was like, wow.
Excuse me.
Go ahead.
Oh, I just was like, even like, so that's a big movie, right? We understand that like that's probably going to get more trailer releases and people are probably going to see it anyway. They don't really care. Like a lot of more people are coming to that conclusion where they're like, give me one trailer. Don't show me any more stuff. I'm kind of done. I'll see it if I want to. I won't see it if I don't want to. But will
will they actually see it without you pushing the trailer?
That's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, I think more than in the past, people have moved to that attitude.
Okay.
But the thing is, they don't care because a lot of other people, I guess maybe the other half of people want to see more and more and will go anyway. So they're showing those for like Spider-Man, sure. But even movies like, there's this movie that's coming out that's like the end of something street. I can't remember what it's called. exactly, but it's got like
Yeah,
Anne Hathaway in it, and like their street
I know
has
what
been
you're talking
like
about.
taken
I know
out
what
and
you're
like
yeah,
put
put
somewhere
somewhere.
else.
Yeah,
And like when
like
at
a
first,
dome or something like
right,
that. Yeah,
right, like
yeah,
exactly like the dome. And at
yeah,
first you're like, okay, what the trailer was very mysterious. Like, what's happening here? Um, they don't tell you why or what's
yeah.
happening. It's just kind of like
That's
a
all I wanted to
mysterious
see. I
circumstance.
wanted to see that
Right.
movie.
I would
Yeah,
have gone.
yeah.
I was my ass was already in the
You
seat. I was
were,
like, I'll give you ticket money right now and just wait till it comes
you
on.
were, but
Then then they had a second trailer where they revealed what like the sort of secret, I don't know, enemy of the situation is. And I'm like, I don't care now. Like, you could have duped me. You could have fooled me and I would have shown up. But now that you've dipped your hand, it's not even because you dipped your hand, it's because you dipped your hand and it was bad. Like, can't
yeah,
you
I
even fucking
wonder.
tell the difference? Can't you dupe me long enough to get me in the seat?
So, for me, that's how Disclosure Day was. I didn't see that much. I saw one trailer with that bullshit, and
Right.
I
Right.
was like, I want to see this, So I don't know. We gotta get into it. Where am I? So yeah. So anyway, yeah, I saw that trailer, and I was just like, you know, Beat 'em Down was on the show a few for the Coke 45 podcast not too long, a couple weeks ago, and he told me he stopped watching trailers altogether.
Hmm.
I was like, really? Interesting, huh? Some movie, I don't know. So I'm on both sides with that, right? Because if I didn't see Street Fighter and I heard it was a Street Fighter movie, I would have never. I would be like,
Sure.
I ain't gonna see that bullshit. But seeing the trailer, I was like, oh shit, I want to see this. So
I'm a
yeah,
one is enough camp. That's my stance. Like,
I
you've
agree.
already shown me, I'm gonna
I
either
agree.
see it or I'm not gonna see it. Stop giving me more. I don't need more.
I agree. I'm with you. So, man, moving on down the line to other shit that we care about with these movies is let's check the Rotten meter, man. Let's see what people are saying about Disclosure Day here. So,
Yeah, I don't
Disclosure.
know. So I'm curious.
So, oh, interesting.
Okay.
So the critics, all 395 of them, they gave us 80%.
All
Okay,
right.
and the popcorn meter over 5,000 verified people. Look, people are liking this movie, man. Whether if you're a casual fan or you're a critic, people are liking the movie. So what can you say, Tiff? What can you
I don't
say?
know.
Yeah, look at you.
I don't know what you can say.
Right. Okay, so I don't know if I got anything else to say about the state of the. And it was something else that I came across that made me like go, huh? Interesting. Yeah. There's been shit. I've been seeing all kind of like, trailers and stuff like that. And, you know, the state of the industry is like really weird right now. I don't even know where it's going, as far as I don't know. Everything is unpredictable. I feel like I don't know anything about this industry no more. We've been like doing this show for over 10 years, right? You know what I'm saying?
I feel like we went from so much information to not as much information to like now maybe we're trying to find the balance. Do you remember like, I mean, I suppose it's still happening, but people were so, they would get their drones out and they're trying to get into, I don't hear as much of that stuff anymore.
Yeah. Getting arrested and shit, busted into some
Right,
Star
trying to
Wars
see
camp
stuff.
and yeah. I don't, and we were 10 years ago, we were like all about, the information, probably because the transition from going from nothing, no Star Wars, no superheroes, no nothing to having superheroes and having Star Wars. And, we were thirsty for that shit
Right,
since we were
something,
little kids,
anything.
and so there was only a few success stories where it was done good enough that you really liked it. And then you knew, like, when you got a Sam Raimi Spider-Man 1 and 2, that you weren't going to get shit else on this level you weren't getting a goddamn thing else, right?
You gotta
Everything else
wait.
was going to be right. I mean, wait, we wasn't even sure if we was going to get anything after
Right,
that, right?
it's true.
I mean, wait, we wasn't waiting for shit. We was just like, man, that was
Thank
great.
goodness.
That was great. Right, exactly. Die now, and I feel better as a person. So, uh, let's what are we doing here? Um, it's time for the movie,
Disclosure
man.
day.
So, huh? What's
I
that?
said
Oh,
I whispered
disclosure.
disclosure day.
Like, what's happening? So I didn't mess with all of my stuff. I had all my settings all perfectly, and then I decided to do different stuff here. So I gotta fix this before we can move on. And I really want to see Supergirl. Don't know why. Anyway,
Just that
so
time of summer, I think.
yep, Disclosure Day 2026 PG-13. I think a rated R rating with this thing probably would have helped. But people are loving this movie. Alien invasion, conspiracy, epic, psychological drama, science, sci-fi epic, suspense mystery, directed by Steven Spielberg. Very short. Okay. If you found out we weren't alone, if someone showed you, proved it to you, would it frighten you? That's it. That's it.
Okay.
That's it.
Sure. All right. Okay.
Who's in this movie, Tiffabot?
Emily Blunt is in this movie.
Red dress never had these feelings for Emily Blunt before. Emily Blunt.
Blunt.
She will be known as Red Dress Emily Blunt
from now on, in perpetuity.
My goodness, y'all. Thank you, Red Dress Emily.
I really love Emily Blunt, to be honest.
I do. I liked her ever since that Tom Cruise movie, which I wish they would have did a part 2. One of the few movies I'm saying.
Tomorrow Never Dies.
No, that was called
Live, Die, Repeat.
That was what they renamed it, which was stupid.
What's it really called?
It was called like Tomorrow. It was Tomorrow. It was like not tomorrow. Like it was like Forever Tomorrow.
Yeah, like forever. Tomorrow. Something weird like that.
It was some bullshit, and then they changed the name to Live, Die, Repeat because that was the original name. And anyway, y'all.
Anyway, we're getting in the weeds.
I literally started paying attention to her in that movie. I was like, oh shit, So. And she's very famous for A Quiet Place.
A Quiet Place. She's in Devil Wears Prada. She's in a lot of stuff. Josh O'Connor. That's the other guy. The other Daniel Kellner.
Yeah, that's from a movie we reviewed not too long ago.
Dead Man. Wake Up, Dead Man.
Yeah, from Ryan Johnson.
Yes. Glass on. No. Nope. Knives Out.
Knives Out. Well, Knives Out series.
I just could not get it.
I'm like, I
remember all of the stupid subtitles, but none of the actual movies.
I am actually pretty impressed by that because I don't remember any.
Thank you. Colin Firth. He's in there.
Who I did not recognize at first. I was like, I know this guy. I was like, it's Colin Firth. Where's Lexi?
There he is. Eve Hewson.
Yep.
Coleman Domingo.
Coleman Domingo was like one of them. We're never gonna see him again one day because like he's just like nailing it in everything he's in, right?
He's here and he's gone.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen him do one damn thing that I was like, what the hell was he doing? Even when he was in that little Chris Pratt movie, that little dumb scene, I was like, is that Coleman Domingo?
Is that Coleman?
Yeah,
he's here. He's acting. Wyatt Russell,
who I am really starting to take a shine to because he reminds me of his dad.
He looks like him.
He really hasn't been in a role that I, didn't like him in so far, man. I really like that. He's on Apple, the Monsters, the Godzilla shit.
Oh yes, yeah.
He's playing his dad as young, and his Kurt Russell and him is great. I love it. Anyway, you may proceed.
Yeah, Henry Lloyd Hughes, Elizabeth Marvel.
Yep.
I'm looking to see if there's anyone else who's
because all this shit is pretty. The rest of them are pretty insignificant.
They're pretty like just like some bit actors doing some bit parts.
Of course, so we can skip all that, man. So, man, where are we at now? I know, man.
I suppose.
Yeah, we are at one word. If you never heard this show before, we try to sum up our feelings of this of every property in one word. Sometimes it's profound, sometimes it's weird, but it's time. Uh-oh. Yeah. That was so loud. Holy shit.
Very loud.
God, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry.
Say
that was ridiculous.
Intense. Hey, everybody, it's one word. Listen up.
One word. I know. Well, now it's like turn it down is one word.
For me, one word.
One word.
I think my one word is no.
No. Okay. Well, you just agree with all the fans and the critics.
I just don't care. Like, oh my god. Like, okay.
Explain. You gotta explain. You can't just leave it like that. I don't care. No.
So like this movie is like, I guess if you're looking for it's a popcorn movie that wants you to believe that it's an Oscar movie, right? It's like got champagne taste, but it's not getting there. Like it wants you to think it's more important than it is. Like
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think it's got
yeah.
really good
I
act.
agree.
Like the actors are in it. They are really good actors. It's really hard
Yep.
for you to be like, because you're watching these performances. They are not bad performances, but the movie itself is like, all right, okay, like it's pretty. Like if I never saw this movie, I feel like it wouldn't matter. Like
Mm.
fine, and
Yeah,
I wouldn't even
yeah,
say like it's hard to say because I wouldn't say that I was entertained. I wouldn't say like I gotta go back or like I would watch that again when it was on TV. Or like
yeah, yeah,
maybe more to say that like if you woke up while you were sick on a Sunday and it was on TBS, you might keep watching it. You know what I mean? Like that's
yeah,
sort of the general vibe of the movie. But like,
yeah,
okay.
yeah, 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 yeah. So my one word, I don't want people to get confused about how hard because the word is so finite. But it's not the way I completely feel about this film. My one word is disappointment. And
Mhm.
I wrestled with that because I agree with you. Coleman Domingo, all the Emily Blunt, uh, Russell, Wyatt Russell.
Ru
Who else?
Russell
Colin
Jr., we
Firth,
call him.
Josh O'Connor. I mean,
These are good
e-
actors, you're right.
even the way it was shot, the movie built so much and built and built and built. And my disappointment, this is a spoiler based podcast, so if you don't want to spoil it, turn it away. Uh, I When they got to the payoff, and we'll get there, we'll go back. But when they got to the payoff, I was giddy because I was like, this was kind of slow. I was like, Tiffany, one word is going to be slow. I was thinking about you, the movie. I was like, it's going to be one word is going to be slow because it did have a slower pace, but it was Steven Spielberg directing, which I was fine because I grew up with movies being shown being paced like this,
Right.
Jaws, shit like that, and this was an older director, and I appreciate this shit. I don't need all the speed all the time. But once the payoff, once it started paying off, you guys needed to go way further than what you was doing. And we'll get into it. For that payoff to be worth it. This little listen bullshit. I was like, you gotta be fucking kidding. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Okay. Okay. So let's take it back. So
Yeah,
disappointment is my one word. And I can see why people like this
I
this
can
thing. And I think
too.
And I can tell you some directions that I think that the piece should have went that would have made it better. I have to tell you that when I first saw the trailer, it was very, very extremely ominous to me. I thought it was going to have more of a horror vibe, and I think it made a mistake by not going that way. What do you think?
Yeah, I think like even if because Spielberg isn't an entirely like he's not much into that horror. I think like some of his things can be
The
scary. Like when we talk
poltergeist,
about yep, I guess that's true. But I mean like when we talk about Jurassic Park, there's moments of high tension in that film. And I think a lot of
without it being a
children or
horror
people
movie, yep.
right, but it's not really a horror. We wouldn't consider that necessarily a horror film. I think this film
Right?
would benefit from some more tension. It really is a very and this isn't an insult in any way as it sounds, but a weakly tensioned film, which can sometimes work if we're going for a low stakes sort of
Yeah,
storyline.
yeah, yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean? But this is a very, very, very high stakes storyline, but it sort of feels like very cottony because it's very soft. It feels
yeah,
like there's so
yeah,
much stakes and yet there's no stakes. Like, right? Like you could
yeah.
easily that's what I kind of mean by waking up on that Sunday. You don't feel good. You don't got to pay that close of attention. It's sort of in some ways this movie comes off as sort of comforting, which it shouldn't. It really shouldn't if we're thinking about the subject matter.
So let me explain. Uh, there was a time when Steven Spielberg was doing movies that I did not like him. I'm pretty sure he did. Was that Robert Zemeckis or was that Steven Spielberg that did Cocoon?
Oh, I love
Uh,
Cocoon.
you love Cocoon. Uh, I liked Cocoon when I was a boy, and then I was like, "What the hell am I watching?"
Cocoon.
So they did a new Cocoon in
I don't know.
2024.
None of my
They didn't even,
business. None of
they
my
even
business.
showing
If
they didn't even showing the old Cocoon. Wait a minute. They sure did. Where's
well,
well,
dang.
so there was movies that Steven Spielberg did when I was growing up that he really pushed everything like in wonderment. It was all these
Yeah.
scenes where
Yeah.
people are like, and they did it in this movie a lot, where people they're really into the actor's face and they're like, react, and they're like,
Yeah. Yeah, like,
it's a lot of that shit.
ooh.
So we were back to that, not Inner Space. He did do Inner Space, but that movie wasn't like that. E.T. was like that. He did this movie with these little robots floating around in
Yeah,
this
and
little
there's nothing inherently wrong with that,
I hated
right?
that shit. I hated that vibe. I hated that Wonderment shit, right? So anyway, they were doing a lot of that with these people, with just like, ooh. So, but they did have some really good moments. The beginning of the movie, the first act was unparalleled, if you ask me. With the chases, although I don't know how that Alfa Romeo stayed on hooked up to that train all the way down that line. I'm like,
there's a lot of car chases in this where you're like, sure, Jan.
the dude's still in the car while they standing right there. I'm like,
Yeah, like okay. We'll talk about that I suppose when we get there,
I
but
want
like
to allow this for McCoy. I'm
I
sitting
will
there
not
like,
allow it because they are all highly trained gunmen and you just sneak up there and drive away and they shoot out your tires and you're still driving on that gravel. You're getting out of that gravel pit. No, you are not.
Unless these fools were hired by the same fools it's in our current government, just hiring anybody with a weight problem.
I suppose that's true. Anybody will
Like
do.
it could be the same type of government. So I allowed that. I was like, well,
but like,
shit. Look at who we got out there now.
And the thing is that like, okay, so this movie, if we talk about it, it's pretty what we would consider pretty high stakes, right? Because the government knows like concrete alien existence. And
yes.
I think that one of the problems I have with this movie, it doesn't focus enough on the fact that the government is hiding stuff from you. Because that would be like the most yeah.
Sorry to interrupt. The worst part is that it ain't even the government. It's this agency. The answer to nobody. I'm like, don't do that.
Yeah,
don't,
like it's very. That's another problem with this movie. It's very just like hands off as far as like the statements it's making. Like if you want to see a politically statemented movie about aliens, watch District 9. Like this movie is very kid gloves as far as like any statement it's trying to make.
Exactly. And what the worst part about it is that they've been releasing all this footage that it's kind of still like why is it like every time you see an alien this look like or some spaceship?
Why is he also why these aliens look like chewed up beef jerky?
Well, that was one thing. So man, we have this hero. He's running and he has a girlfriend, and they're running. They're running. And we don't really know what's going on. She had no business being there. And Tiff, I had a problem with her being there in the beginning.
Yeah.
The guy said, look, you got to get rid of this gal, and she's like, I gave you sex and you can't tell me the truth. Well, it don't seem like y'all known each other that long, and booty is booty, baby. I'm sorry, y'all. It happens, right?
Very strange that he was like, you're a liar. You never told me you were a nun. And then he's like, I was in prison and I've stolen this information from the government. And
I did a nickel about it. But don't ask me.
You about being a nun? Fuck you and the horse you rode.
Yeah, he was. I was like, fuck this guy, right? And so, we went to I'm liking the vibe because they're not telling us nothing.
There's so much in this movie that actually works. I just feel like it was too much of a wiener to take the actual steps it could have needed to get a great movie.
I'm telling you, it's the internet. It's the lack of payoff, man. They paying it off, and then let's get to it. Let's keep rolling. So, then we got this scene where our antagonist, who's played by Colin Firth, who he was douchey, but I think it's hard for Colin Firth.
It's hard for him to, like, we're kind of like,
I'm like, Colin, you need to go for the douche. You're there, but you're not. We need more douche, right? We need more cowbell. We need more douche. Exactly.
I can tell that in your heart, just not a douche.
We needed to hate him, right? And he was getting close by the way he was doing stuff with people, like, grab the knife.
But even then, not to skip ahead, but he just kind of gives up. It's really strange.
I don't even think we skipped
super much motivation.
Go ahead.
No, that's it.
Right. Well, I don't think we're even reaching ahead that much because, they're running and then he leaves her in the safe house, right? It's a network of safe houses. This guy has stole all the data that of alien sightings, and I thought it was going to be more like, showing actual corruption in government too, like them stealing money. Nope. And, I wanted it to be a lot more, you know what I'm saying?
Even just like one more step in that, because like the movie feels very much like it arrived at a gate and it's like there no more.
Yeah,
we're
yeah,
seeing
yeah. Like
behind this
like they were
line.
scared or something for
Right,
repercussions for
and
like
the thing about it is
yeah.
that, like, I then don't make the movie. But, like, it also is very much like it tries to play both sides. Like, there's this whole and there's nothing wrong with this, but there's the whole, like, religious aspect to this movie where they're like, "Well, it can be both." Like, with the nun that's like, "It's on earth, and it's like,
Well,
we don't
I did like that. I did
well,
like
I
that, man.
also listen, I don't mind that either, but it's a very much a toe the line, walk the line sort of movie where, like, nobody's supposed to be offended by this film.
Yeah, but again, the way the nun explained it, I like that. I was like, that's so reasonable, what she said, And so I was like, I like that, man. So, we got this doubter, this lady and who shouldn't have anything to do with this. And, you know, guy, Firth is what's his name? His name is Noah. He's like mind controlling her with this alien artifact. He has a connection with it. He can like manipulate people with it as long as he can look at their eyes, even from a picture or some shit like that.
Yeah.
I like it. I'm digging it. I like that, get you type of stuff. And he's controlling her and she's trying to fight back. And then like she has a knife. Now, but my brother. The bitch jumps up in the back with a knife. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, truly she cannot be trusted moving forward because I
Right,
would
and
assume
it's not her fault,
right. I
but
could
she's a
assume he can
danger.
do it anytime he wants to, right? Come on, baby. Huh? And they'd be like, look, I'm gonna put this blindfold on you. You walk this way, and then I'm gonna sneak this way.
Right.
No way in the world I would
For
girlfriend
you
and no
and for me, I'm dumping you.
exactly. But
Like,
no, they do
she's
this
a
goofy
danger to
chase.
him and herself.
They do a goofy chase, put the car off the road. She helps out a little bit here, keep going. And I'm just like, you need to dump her, man. Cause I don't know why Noah didn't go back in and just try again. Let's murder him again. We'll just keep
Right,
murdering him.
and, like, also when she gains control of her body, throw the knife out the window.
No, it was still in the car.
No, she was like, "Leave it in here." I'm like, "Well, genius move."
Yeah, I'm like, yeah,
But it doesn't come back. The thing is, it
they,
doesn't come back, so it's fine.
but it should have, and that's the
It should
problem. They
have.
should
You're
have.
absolutely right. It should have. This movie just goes, okay, it's fine. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, that danger is averted, and it'll never come back. Not
And
because
we're
we
done.
closed the door on it, only because we just done. We're not
Yeah,
gonna
this
show
movie
that
said, we're moving forward. Tough shit.
you bastards. Anyway, so we get scenes like that. I'm enjoying it. So then when the guy tries to push them on the train, now the movie could have went hardcore rated R at this point, and I would thought it was because first of all, let's go back. I'm sorry. We get introduced to Emily. We get introduced to the Emily Blunt character, who I just adore in this movie, Margaret, because she sees this bird, and all of a sudden, like she's speaking like Russian to her boyfriend, and he's like, "Hey, baby, that was strange. Oh
And she's like,
well,
what's
let's go to
strange?
work."
Yeah.
All right, I'm like, whoa, ain't no going to work. Where you? Let's talk.
There is a lot of like just mistaken. Like he's like, when did you learn Russian? And she's like, haha, you're so funny. Like if that was really happening to somebody that you were with, because you would be like, you're having a not to be insensitive, but you're probably having a stroke. You'd be like,
possibly
you were
right?
just speaking what appeared to me to be Russian. Like
Or
just
I
now.
don't really know you, and you've been a Russian spy our whole relationship, and you
Right,
slipped.
but he's just like, that was weird. It's like, no, it was not just fucking weird. It was super weird.
She goes to work. I love all this stuff. She's knowing stuff about the people. She's speaking Korean. She about to quell the war that's about to happen, which is happening in the background. It's about to be World War III with North Korea,
yes.
right? And she's like, she could save us all, right? But they paid no attention. Put her on, and then as you see in the trailer, that's when she do the
little clicking noises.
Right. And in the trailer, it was really ominous. But
yeah, it makes you feel like we're about to have sort of a catastrophic World War III would no longer be significant because we're about to have like an internet. Like that's kind of thought we were going to have like, like an Independence Day where we kind of like, oh, the whole earth is together now because we are fighting the external force. That's kind of thought where we would maybe go.
If I'd like to go a step further, I would have liked to see people panic exactly the way they said they would. You know what I'm saying? For riding in the streets and shit. So anyway, man, she realizes she has this power to go to the hospital. It's getting better to me. I'm like, she's like, that man is not an FBI, and so they get out of there, and I'm like, They show this taking a long time trying to run over this phone and all this other shit. You think they would have caught them by now, because they're this big unknown agency. Maybe they're
Right.
just incompetent because
They're like
they
Black
had no
Ops. They
clue.
don't have to follow any rules.
Exactly. Nothing. They don't even exist. They even better than Black Ops because they even explained that they don't even take government money. They take private donorship and all this other shit. So they don't answer to nobody. They don't have to, come to the board and say how much money they spent this year. They do what they want to do. I'm like, damn, I want to work there. So they got 12 people who have showed up. The Hugo is one of them, and he's building a set the whole time. They got this
Yes.
house. Tiff, I knew exactly what that set was going to be for the moment I saw it. What about you?
Yeah, I think that you knew she was the thing about this movie that there's so much happening in the background that's sort of brilliant that you're like, okay, that could have really worked in the favor. It's like you're saying, there's a sort of a could have been creepy vibe that wouldn't even have to gone full horror, that you would have been like, that's just a little creepy. Because if we were to learn all of a sudden that aliens existed, everybody, there would just be something like an inherent sort of disconnect between the reality that we once knew. I'm not even talking about the possibility. I'm talking about confirmed they've been here, blah, blah, blah. That would be such a disconnect from your current reality. I think that it would cause so much more kind of terror, like you're talking about, than we would actually feel in this movie, which feels very cuddly.
How would you feel about it?
I mean, I think that there's obvious
we're sci-fi fans, so I don't know. We probably accept that shit pretty easily.
Yeah, you'd be like, okay. I mean, I think we'll already think that this is happening, so it's not more than they would be shocked, I guess, about the information. It would be more like, what else is being hidden from you?
Well, see, I think what would bother me the most would be people, because one of the best goofiest sci-fi films ever made, which is not really sci-fi, is They Live. I really believe
I love They Live.
I think we would be effing each other for a percentage every single time. I think, you know what I'm saying? I think it would be bullshit. Even if they come down blowing people up, it'd be people trying to figure out how to F over your neighbor and stuff like that.
Absolutely. And I feel like there's moments of horror in this movie that are presented to us as an audience where there's obvious real world parallels that people do not feel as much horror about as they should. Like things that are actually happening to other people right now. And I know that that's what but the movie makes sort of, it makes me feel sort of mad at it, because I'm like, say it with your chest then.
Right. So when she does the plukka, it was ominous in the trailer, but for me at this point, it wasn't all that ominous anymore, because she was already doing shit that was like on another planet, right? She falls down, go to the hospital, they escape. I knew her man wasn't shit, right?
I know.
I knew he wasn't shit. He couldn't wait to call on people.
Calling it in.
So I wasn't too keen on what was happening when they went to the convenience store and everybody was like running, taking all the water and the food and stuff. I didn't realize that they were on the brink of war. And then I was like, well, they must want us to think they was on, because I don't think they did a good job showing that they were on the brink of war.
Right. I don't think so. There was one sort of mention in the beginning.
Exactly. And so then I was like, oh, this would be bad. People are tripping. And so, she leaves him. I love it, and I like her Bloodhound Sixth Sense. So the shit that Emily Blunt's doing, and let's not mention that red dress that goodness, she's looking good. Anyway, whoo. So she's doing her thing, and she's the hero at this point. She's the cavalry. She's coming to the rescue of our buddy Dr. What's his name? Daniel. His name was Dr. Daniel Kellner.
Yeah, I didn't even realize. I missed the part where he was a doctor. I thought he was just some guy.
I missed it too, Tiffobot. I'm just using my notes over here, and I was
I was like, that's just a guy
from prison.
Just some guy. No, everyone, he's a doctor.
Yeah, from prison. So
prison. Yep.
So now they're doing this, spy stuff. Get rid of the phones. Talk once. Get rid of the phones. Meet up together. So he gets captured, and she rescues him in one of the pretty smooth, without violence, walks in, and I like everybody she's talking to turns into somebody she knows. She's reading
because she's got empathy powers.
I'm surprised it worked as long as it did, because you're watching her do this. Was she projecting to everybody so they were seeing somebody they knew? You know
I
what I'm
don't
saying?
know, I
Like,
guess. Yeah, at the same time, that was the
yeah, because I'm sitting
implication.
there like, well,
But
stop the
even
shit.
then, I feel like if I was at a place where somebody that I loved was not, and then this person that I love the most started talking to me, I would be
Stop,
like,
stop,
yeah, I would
stop
be like,
impersonating
you're
grandma.
not that person.
Grandmama been dead, you know.
Right. So like,
I got a
and I know
divorce
that
10 years ago, and I still hate the bitch. You know, what are you talking about? Slap.
I know that we I know that we have a limited way to show how you might garner that sort of action from somebody without like some extreme measures. I think the implication was that she was able to calm or reach that part of their mind that was
Well,
like,
she said
this
she
is
became them. She knew everything about them.
right. And
You know.
she could just use that. So we're just supposed to assume it's kind of one of those blanket powers where like it's sort of explained in the movie, but we're just supposed to accept it. Like it works.
Yeah, she was like Professor X. You know, she
Yeah.
could like. So they get away, and they realize they know each other, and then they meet up with the Hugo character, but not before our was Noah does the same shit with the little brick and visits Hugo. I was so surprised he didn't take over Hugo. I was like,
Yeah.
why is he taking over Hugo? He's just having this conversation.
Maybe he
They're having this
couldn't.
intellectual, huh?
Maybe he couldn't, but there
What'd you
wasn't enough
say?
explained.
He said that. So I would allow it, but I'm not going to allow it. And I'll tell you why. Because he tried to do Kellner, right? He tried to do Daniel. And he was like, I can't penetrate him. Oh, he looked like he almost had a stroke from it, right? I mean, they was beep, 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 with the
Right.
machines and everything. And I'm like, so he really tried to get this guy, but you ain't gonna try to get this guy, you
Right.
know?
And really anyone in the room. And then there was like at that point where people come in like they're like, don't come in here. Cause like they could see and they were using them to like, and I was like, what?
And you know something? You're so fired. Y'all know what we're
I
dealing
said
with.
no.
Yeah, right. Get the hell out of here. Don't ever come back. I don't care how. I was like,
Right. This is like the stakes of this movie, according to the people in the movie, is like the whole being the fiber of our existence as humanity.
The only response to those two people would have been like, black bag them.
Get them in the hoods. Get them in the hoods and get them out.
Exactly, man. I was like, y'all just gonna breeze past that because later on in that scene, yeah, they're here. I'm like, that's the guy that just walked in the room and he's still working there, huh? So they come in, man, and she grabs the brick and they're all invisible, but you can hear him talking. How come she couldn't affect their ears too? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, just make them go out the back. And why y'all come front to go out? Go out the back window and keep it moving, right? So then they got another chase, Tifflebot. You said this movie had chases, now they didn't fire.
They're here.
Yeah. So, they're like, we know where they're going, WKPI, they're all
got,
going
like,
there.
Alien message is like saying, whoop, 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 whoop.
Y'all don't got helicopters with all this money?
But also, like, that would be like number one primo space. I would have, like, they know it's her. Why would you not have some of your agents there?
Just there in case she comes back.
Because she's going, like, all of our known whereabouts, home, family houses. We have, like, listen, I'm not even an agent of subterfuge, and I'm already thinking that's what I'd fucking do.
But they always say, oh, we can't go to the train station. They got that covered. You know what I'm saying? No, I'm just going to go back to my job. I'm going to go back to where I hang out at. So they go back, and so to me, I'm like, okay, stuff about to pay off.
Here we come.
So they start, we're going to do this broadcast. We're going to release everything. I'm going to translate, blah, blah, blah. When they was hanging out by the dock, you knew when that door opened and Hugo was smiling. I was like, oh, they got aliens. I thought they had a bunch of them. I thought it was going to be like a posse of them coming in smoking cigarettes and shit, but no.
One big alien.
Why was he so big?
I don't know why he was so much bigger than
all
the rest of them. His head was huge.
Was he the leader? Because all the rest of them looked like little kids. They was all like, little kids and stuff. That was shitty in the beginning when they showed the dude about to get they was about to operate on with him with, they was about to dissect him alive. He was screaming and shit. I was like, damn, that's effed up. Should have showed that to everybody. Anyway, so, they blow up the generator. She uses the power. That was cool. Mm-hmm. So then they start disseminating this information. I'm loving this shit. I didn't like the one lady with the dark hair that was getting the main part of the story. I was like, whoa, what about Red Dress? What about Red Dress Emily? She's
What
doing
about Red Dress Emily?
I'm like, what? Who are you?
We
Oh,
already got
I
a
just
newscaster.
no. What? I just don't have no words. Get her out of here. They had
Yeah.
a newscaster, right? So
Right.
then they show the alien come out. I'm like, okay. This whole movie has changed for me at this point. I'm like, payoff is a bitch, right? That's what I'm thinking. But I need more. We just started. Alien, they this scene literally had to be like 10 minutes unstrapping this alien,
Mhm.
out of this wheelchair and opening the thing. I'm like, this is classic Steven Spielberg. This is the shit that
It's the
I used to
wigs.
hate. All this wonderment and shit, I'm like, stop. Oh God, we got adult wonderment now. Now we're grown and shit. Um, so I'm not digging this. And then the alien tells a secret. He tells a secret to her, and the last words in the movie is listen, and it goes off.
Mm.
I'm like, wait
Boo.
a minute. Y'all got all the opportunity in the world to be like, look, these bastards, do an interview with the bastard. He blah 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 blah.
Right.
And the guy's like, yeah.
Like,
He
are
said,
you
yeah, all
saying
pieces of shit.
this?
And because y'all been such pieces of shit, we coming to get you. I mean, something, right? No,
He's like,
no, no. Do we
it
think for a moment that our shitty government
seems
would like cooperate with these bastards? Any of these governments would they be trying to shoot them and kill them like they was been doing all this time? I'm sitting there like, let's do something different, right? Let's do something different. No, they just did the old. Now we'll never know, and there won't be a part two. Not that I would go see a part two. That's my disappointment, Tess. Can
yeah.
you understand? But I can't.
And like
I'm sorry. I talked a lot. I
no,
was ranting.
because I don't I agree with everything that you're saying. And one of my problems with this movie is it could have been a popcorn movie, but it had all the pieces in there to make it a grandiose popcorn movie where we're like, "Oh my god, I feel." Here's the
Yeah.
thing: every movie that you go to doesn't have to be like Casablanca. It doesn't have to be like a life changing experience where people
Right.
talk about it for 100 years. But like,
Right.
if you're doing this kind of a movie and you're trying to give me shock and awe, some kind of wonderment that you're saying, there's a better way to get the message there, and then also give us that feeling where we're like, because I feel like a way of profound human connection, like the way that we can connect to each other even though we're different, is through wonderment, like the way that we all feel awe, right? But you're doing it, I hate to say cheaply, because it wasn't cheap, it was sort of expensive, but it's sort of like just grabbing, you're like, this is an obvious ABC storyline with no
Yeah.
complexity, but you're trying to say, but it's actually super complex.
Yeah, I mean, you did nothing with the alien, right? How many alien movies have been made where it's not Disclosure Day, but it's like First Contact, not really First Contact, but First Contact with the rest of the world, and you guys did nothing. Normally, either the alien starts shooting you know, or you just leave it like that, like Close Encounters in the Third Kind, which I felt like this movie was a redo of that. You know, if you remember that movie, Steven Spielberg
Yeah.
also, you
Even
know,
if everyone Even
wah,
if
wah,
there was a
wah,
scene
wah.
where everyone was kinda like
Yeah, with the
and they
phones.
all come out, like, everyone puts their electronics down and they all come outside and they kind of look at each other, that would have been a more profound moment for me than when everyone was just like,
But I don't even think
"Alien."
everybody would have been sitting there in silence with their phones. These
No,
fuckers would
I
have been
think
like
people
on
this is like
live stream and shit and create all kind of chaos and bullshit and come on.
it's just
People like
it just
shit
feels a
bag.
little lazy for lack of a better word.
Yeah, I just needed way more than that. Y'all, they were rolling. It was like, look, basically, we busting the government on all they bullshit just like that, right? Um, and something else that bothered me that it was just our government, right?
Mhm.
You know, because if people don't remember, Mexico just about 10 years ago laid out an alien that looked pretty much like that in a capital city, in their capital for an entire week. Nobody remembers that shit. And I was just like, is it what's happening? I mean, this was real, man. I was like, what?
Right. And on situations like this, there are internet it's not like it's just it's international. There's
Yes,
international
I even heard
councils on
that joke in
this
a movie, like
thing.
why wouldn't you think they might go to Africa or something? Like we always think they're gonna come to America, like we just the bed of like everything human on this planet. We're not, you know. I think we're the biggest pieces of shit on the planet. I do. I just do. I think that other countries do have been doing this a little bit longer than us and a little bit better than us. It's too much capitalism. Anyway, enough of my rant. Um, anyway, so Yeah. Your one word was no, right?
No.
My one word was disappointment, but I did like a lot that was happening in this
Right.
movie. But
It's like
according to
it's like with just a few tweaks, it could have been really, really good. But the thing about this movie is, I guess another word would be inoffensive and both a good like you
you
can
thought it
watch
was
this
getting too
movie and
character,
not
huh?
wish for it to be over. Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean? But that doesn't make it
yeah.
necessarily a good movie.
80% on Rotten
Well,
Tomatoes and 70% popcorn meter. This is a good
they love
movie.
it.
People are loving it. I don't dislike it. I got it's
It's some
problems, man.
grapes.
Yeah, yeah. And then again, not every movie ends the way you want it to end.
Right.
But the way they was ramping this shit up, I'm like, oh hell, we got another half an hour of this of shit going on. Or you could even did a montage of
Right,
like
some
governments
closure.
falling and shit like that, and
Right.
aliens like becoming a part of not every day, like walking down the street like they live, but at least a delegation in the United Nations and all kind of shit. Something, man, that would have said one, we took this opportunity and became better people, or two, we became worse, especially with the
Right.
World War III shit,
Something
and
that
blew
takes a step
ourselves up.
forward in the narrative.
Something. Yeah, because World War III was, and why was it World War III with North Korea? Because they were using, I mean, unless you had a coalition,
That was
which
such
they
a
never
small
got
part of the
into,
film.
right? They never got into that, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. Like,
Not inconsequential, some might say.
very inconsequential. Why I mention it? Why I
Why
mention it?
yeah,
Because
why fucking talk about it? Has nothing to do with this shit.
that's the point of the whole. There you go. That brought the whole thing home. It had nothing to do with this shit. You could have had the Earth, half of it blown up, and it would have had nothing to do with this shit, right?
Nothing to do with it.
Well, the nukes flew 2 days ago, and
Holy
now
shit.
we got this alien conspiracy. It didn't matter, right?
Oh my god.
Oh shit! I got
Okay.
nothing else to say about this.
Oh, okay, no.
So I don't know, man. Next week, man, we
Supergirl.
want to do Supergirl, man. We want to check out the James Gunn universe, which I'm in fear that it might be like going away. Y'all took too
Hold
long
on
to
to
get these
hope. Hold on
movies
to
out.
hope.
We will try to hold on the hope, but that whole I know yet, but it's pretty damn final that the Ellison family then bought Paramount and they bought Paramount.
Yeah.
Now I think Warner Brothers and CNN and all this shit. And so all they've been doing is just making shit worse, shut down anything that was left leaning or,
Right.
anything they think is woke and all this other bullshit, and so it's like, it's a shame, you know? And so every time they do this, right, they shut down a whole like slate that these companies are doing, right? They, not that I needed more Zack Snyder universe because I really didn't.
Yeah.
It just wasn't
But
working. But y'all had a plan and we never saw the end of it. And
right.
even this shit, this started with how long ago did James Gunn come? It's been a while now since
It's
they
been a
made
long
him
time
chief.
now, but I think part of that was that transitionary period. Now we're just starting to see the fruits of that.
Well, y'all transition and take too damn long, right? It's like y'all clowning. Y'all just act like y'all have the
Hurry up.
rest of civilization to do this shit. You don't. you know. Anyway, man. Next week we're gonna do Supergirl.
Mhm.
And thank you for watching. If you like this type of stuff, like and subscribe, do all the things, to get us out this route. Keep talking to people about pre-algorithm Fans on Patrol. Just how much
Back in the
shit we had
day.
going on. It's just back in the day, until now you got to pay for algorithms. They want you to pay for your subscribers and all that shit until they actually come aboard. And I'm never doing that. Anyway, so for the 5 people watching this or the
Yeah,
none,
thank you.
thank you. Right. Our real folks who seek us out. We came to do the damn thing. We got it done. I'm the host of Fans of Patrol. My name is Montego. With me is my wonderful co-host, Mr. Fobots. Say goodbye to all these damn people, Tiff.
It's been a pleasure as always.
And I don't mean saying these damn people because our fans are the best. You guys are great. I'm just talking shit. I'm a little, this week. Yeah. The listen got on my damn nerves at this movie. Y'all see this movie, y'all know what I'm talking about. I got pissed. I've been pissed ever since I saw it yesterday.
I've been mad since I saw it.
Listen, we've been sitting here watching and listening for a whole 2.5
Holy
hours.
shit. I was already doing it. Okay. Oh my
How
god.
long was this movie? Shit, I didn't even
2 hours,
get to
25
see
minutes,
that
I
shit.
think.
I'm surprised you didn't complain about that.
Oh,
You're
I
right.
felt it. But you know what? There's always so much you can say, right? They're all that long these days.
2 hours and 25 minutes exactly. That's the same runtime for the movie we did last week. Look at you. All right, man. That's it, man. Until next week. Let me get my fingers. Until next week, man. We will be on
patrol.